just sat next to me, that's why. Views, hashtag pages.
Oh, we're in Lions TV. Good afternoon. There is an absolute whirlwind going around the den at the minute. It's not because we've even signed anyone. And it's not because 8 Days is back on the channel either. Welcome back, big man. Bart Bialkowski. I've just learned how to say his name. It's an absolute scandal, but he's not signing for us. It's looking like now.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing really, because I personally think he's a good goalkeeper. His record speaks for himself. So he's not had a great season last season, but then you've got to look at the other 10 players that are in front of him, to be honest.
Yeah, the relegation, the fact he got relegated last year doesn't bother me. Some people are piping about it, but it doesn't.
But I don't like this stuff about his knee injury. The knee injury was in 2006. Right. You know, it's 13 years ago. Is it going to make that much of a difference? He's 31. He's hardly missed a game for the last 3 years. Right. I get where the club's coming at, but the fee was 900 grand. So how low did we go in after that? Yeah. Because Ipswich were willing to go, yeah, all right, we'll take a little bit less.
Which is fair enough on their part.
But obviously,
from Millwall's argument, for those who don't know, this is, I don't know where you've been if you don't know, but what's happened is Millwall have gone in for a goalkeeper. He supposedly had a medical last Thursday or Friday. Then it's gone quiet. Now it's come out. Certain sources have said originally it was a heart issue. Now it's said it was a knee issue. Now Ipswich have backtracked and said it wasn't an old knee injury, it's a new one. In Millwall's defence, if you go to buy a house, you know, and there's something flags up in a survey, you either offer less for that house or you don't go for that house at all. My question would be, where would Bialkowski go from now? If I'm Neil Harris, I'm thinking, well, it's a dodgy medical. We're going to reduce our offer because I can't see anyone else signing him. He'll probably sit out at Ipswich now, won't he?
Yeah, but then he's only got a year left in his contract anyway, I think.
Yeah.
But that's it for 900 grand. You know, in today's money, it's not really that much. I know for a club like us, it is. But then if I don't know, throw a figure out there, how low did we go? 500 grand. You know, for a goalkeeper that's not missed a game, hardly missed a game in 3 years. 31 years of age. So it's not like he's coming towards the end of his career, because as a goalkeeper, he's in his prime. Yeah. But now we've gone from a little bit of optimism with the Husky chocolate coming into all of a sudden, fuck, we've got one goalkeeper who's 20 years old. Harris has already come out and publicly stated he won't be starting a game. He might fill in a couple of friendlies. So again, what must you be thinking if you're Ryan Sanford? You're 20 years of age, nearly 21. You play for England coming all the way through, and the manager's already categorically said you ain't starting a game. You know, and now the fans are going to be back on Harris's back again.
Warren, do you think?
Yes and no. He wanted to overhaul the goalkeeping department, fair enough, but now plays into other clubs' hands because they can go, well, we know you need a goalkeeper. We want extra amount on top. Yeah. You know, and he sort of made a rod for his own back. And it's all well and good, like where everyone's like, yeah, well done, Harris coming out saying we're going to do this, going to do that, we're going to get rid of this person, get rid of this, and bring all this in. But all of a sudden, we've got what 12, 13 players who have started pre-season training today, and he's always said judge him as a manager. Yeah. And at the minute, if you was another fan looking at Millwall from the outside, you'd be going, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah. You know, you've got no goalkeepers, and the last thing I want is for us to sign like Amos or backtrack and sign a hot shot.
Don't even fucking joke about so let's look at, that's what I was going to say, let's look at this goalkeeping situation, because be fair to Harris, and I'll back him up, people were calling for a mass cull of players, especially the goalkeepers, which is what's happened. Yeah. Amos wasn't ours, had to go back. I was on a lot of dough, and a lot of people didn't think he was fantastic. I didn't think he was too bad, but he wasn't our player regardless, so he had to go. Jordan Archer's an absolute fucking comedy show. He had to go. Tom King, for me, was probably the one that I just would have kept as the backup, because I don't think he'd done a lot wrong when he's come in. But again, Tom King, as you're saying, with Sanford, he's 20, and Harris said he's never going to play. King may now be frustrated at 24, thinking I'm never going to play, I need to push on. So that could have been King's decision. And obviously, silly bollocks Martin went somewhere, went to the enemy. So the goalkeeping cull was needed.
Oh yeah, great.
Have we left it too late? See people criticising the club, going, well, it's bollocks. The club haven't told us anything, and they still, to this point, as we're filming this now on a Tuesday afternoon, they still haven't said anything. But do they need to tell us anything? I don't think they need to come out and say, well, this player was interested, this player did have a medical. I think the club only need to announce when we sign someone.
No, of course, but then, as with every club, you get the rumour mill starts up. And then obviously that plays into agents' hands as well. So then that drives money up, and then we've got to fork out more money. You know, I just think that we had that nice bit of optimism with the Husky chocolate being announced, and now all of a sudden it's crashed back down to earth. Hang on a minute, this is the reality of it.
Yeah.
And the reality is we haven't got a championship goalkeeper at the club.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty out there. And you got Frankie Fielding. I know he's had his injury issues, but he's a proven championship goalkeeper. Kieran Westwood's still a free agent. You know, there's got to be something in the pipeline. But as with every club, stuff gets trickled out.
Yeah, of course it does.
You know, and there seems to be no plan B. And that tends to be Harris's problem, whether it's tactics, signings.
True.
The first team.
True. I mean, you know? he does get shit. He does get a lot of shit. Some of it's warranted, and you know, people will point to this today saying, "Oh, this could only happen to us." But if Harris is in for a player who's played consistently over the last 3-4 seasons, he's entitled to go, okay, this guy's clearly okay, there's nothing wrong with him, he's a decent goalkeeper, a lot of people rate him, including a lot of Millwall fans. Let's put a bid in for him. They put the bid in, bid gets accepted, which, you know, is quite, as I say, it might not be a lot of money in today's footballing terms, but to us it's not a bad amount at all to spend. It's quite a lot for us to spend. You know, that would have been our record signing last season, wouldn't it? At one point, it would have beat Paul Goddard. So so it is a lot of money for us. But now, you know, I think Millwall fans are clutching at straws a bit. He's 31. Right, and that's not vital to a goalkeeper, but he is 31. He's not in the prime of his career. Okay, I've seen his highlight reel. I've seen, prime. Yeah, maybe for a keeper, yeah, maybe, but I mean, he's not young, is he? He's not 25.
But then you got to look at a lot of goalkeepers playing to their late 30s.
Yeah, true.
You know,
yeah. So that's fair enough. But from what I've seen of his highlight reel, I don't think he's fantastic. And which we'll discuss in a minute because you don't agree with me. You actually called me a early on the back of it, but
well, you are.
But also, I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, but you know, if something pops up, he's got a heart problem. He's 31. He's just been relegated. Let's look at all the facts. I know they might not all the facts. It might not all be his fault. He's just been relegated. He's 31 years old, and he's got an issue with medical. I think Harris is right to pull the plug, and I don't think.
Well, it weren't Harris that pulled the plug. It was Ipswich that pulled the plug because we didn't offer enough.
Yeah, because we went back in with a lower offer.
With a low offer, and Ipswich went, no, bollocks, you fuck off.
But do you think Ipswich are now biting their nose off to spite their face? Who's going to want him now?
No, I don't think so, because he was Player of the Year for 3 seasons in a row for a reason, because he's a good goalkeeper. Yeah, the highlights reel, it shows some mistakes or some parries and stuff, but what you've got to remember is the highlights only shows a 10-second clip out of a 90-minute match.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we don't see what his communication's like. Dave Martin, everyone rates his communication.
Yeah, he's Dave Martin is what you definitely wouldn't get from a highlight reel. His authority, just the presence.
Yeah,
sorry,
and I think I can't pronounce his name.
Bart Bialkowski
with the Ipswich goalkeeper is that. He might actually, well, to me, he's a presence, you know, especially with, against us. He always seems to have a worldie, apart from the fact he got lobbed by Ryan Leonard that you like to point out to me. But that could happen to anyone, do you know what I mean?
It could, but I mean, the highlight reel, I mean, if you probably watched, for example, Jordan Archer's highlight reel, we saw when he came to the club, Ryan Leonard's highlight reel. Highlight reels are put together by very good editors, like myself, that are supposed to show the best parts of this player, and a lot of Bialkowski's saves came from him flapping at the original cross or dropping the original shot. So I mean, he would have been an improvement on what we had, and with that I mean Archer. Me or you would have been an improvement on Archer, but I just think a lot of people are getting a little
sideways.
I think a lot of people are getting a little bit too involved in it. You know, we're doing a video now, so we are involved in it because obviously there's been so much about it on social today. Did it? You know, is he that good that we need to be worrying about it that much, or is it just literally panic stations because of the sheer lack of signings?
But then you've got to look at what else is out there. Are we going to get a lone goalkeeper from a Premier League club? You know, there's not really any names that scream out at you at the moment. I like the look of Sunderland's goalkeeper, Portsmouth's goalkeeper last season, but then that's where you said, oh, he's been relegated. Well, then they're from League One. Yeah. So to me, I don't think you can read too much into that. We just need. I think it's going to get to a point if it gets left any longer, then the fans are going to get more on his back.
Yeah.
Because one thing that they talk a lot about in football is the team needs to gel, and especially as a goalkeeper, the main thing for him is to gel with his defenders. Yeah. You know, it's 7-8 weeks till the season starts.
6.
Well, there you go.
It's going to be 5 on Saturday.
It'll come around like that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then when we start the season, we get spanked like 4-0 at home to Preston, and people go, oh, it's because the team hasn't gelled and the goalkeeper situation wasn't rectified properly. The only person who that falls down on is Harris, because I'm sorry, but the season finished what, 4th or 5th of May.
Yeah.
You know, it's what, the 25th of June now.
Yeah.
So you're telling me in 7-8 weeks we've only spoke to one goalkeeper. Do me a favour, you got rid of, like 4 have gone, and we've only had one goalkeeper in the pipeline. Because if we was looking at the Ipswich goalkeeper as the number 1, then who was he looking at bringing in as number 2 and 3? Well, they should still be here anyway.
That's why I don't know why he didn't keep up.
And this will just, it will drag on and on and on, and people will get more onto his back. And he says that he doesn't read social media. I think that's a load of bollocks. I think he does, because he's mentioned it how many times?
Yeah.
So it's obviously going to have an effect, and obviously in the day and age with the players that you know, you look at like your Aidan O'Brien's, he likes to post a lot, and people like to respond a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously his old man's Millwall as well. So like it's going to filter through, and then there's going to be more pressure on him, and we ain't even kicked a ball yet.
So you think? Oh yeah, it does seem, as we said before, if there was a soap opera of football clubs, it would be Millwall. Do you think that the club should then come out and put it to bed and say, look, we went for Bialkowski, well, we relied on his record for the last 3 or 4 seasons, player of the year, as we all know, and has made some very good saves, but something's flagged up in his medical, so we can't then buy him, and now we are looking at other targets. You think they're better off coming out and saying that instead of leaving it to the likes of me, to the likes of Richard Cowley, to the likes of John Kelly? Because at one point today, I always say to people, you can look at Richard Cowley's or you can look at John Kelly's, and today at one point, Cowley said it was off. John Kelly come in and said, no, not definitely off, but it's looking like it's going to. And it does, like you say, they don't just put it to bed, it does cause more confusion in the long run.
But it's catch-22, because if a club comes out and says, well, actually, Ipswich are a bunch of wankers and they did this, this and this, and they didn't tell us this, this and this, then what other club is going to... going to want to interact with you and want to go and deals with you. So their hands are a little bit tied there. But
the Ipswich thing now, Ipswich have come out and said something, and now they've altered what they've said. It was an old knee injury, and we've pulled the plug on the deal. Now they've come out and said, okay, it wasn't an old injury, it was a new injury. And Millwall, not Millwall personally, but the rumours coming from the journalism our side is saying that Millwall pulled the plug on it, or Millwall offered less, or whatever. There's a lot of speculation here. But moving on to, do you think, as we've said, players are gone? If you look at the players that are gone, only Tom King really, I think, so far has got a new club. There's not been a lot of movement in the Championship, full stop. Gregory's not yet gone anywhere, McLaughlin's not yet gone anywhere. Who else left? Yeah, but I think they'll probably more be announced next week with the 1st of July. That's it. Would you not think, would you be surprised that on the 1st of July for Harris to go, there you go, there's your fucking players? Yeah, but let's be fair, it's not like the world's best kept secrets, are they? You know, with every signing, there's never been a signing that's sort of come out and gone, well, fuck me, no one realised that was coming. Yeah. So you're saying, you know, you think that you're basically saying you don't think any whispers are filtered through because there's not any whispers. No, I don't. In brutal honesty, because I'm not being funny, but there's plenty of other clubs out there that have announced that they're signing players. And even Tom King, you know, he's gone to Newport. Yeah. Newport are in League 2. So what? So are they signing all these players, and we're going, I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. You know, I just think that they're making a rod for their own back a little bit, and then like I said, you'll get the excuses that come out that the team hasn't quite gelled yet. You know, once the team gels, then we'll start picking up wins, and you could just already hear the usual sound bites and bollocks that comes from the manager's mouth. And like I said, you get that optimism of the sponsor. Sorry, I just love that. I just love that sentence. The sound bites and bollocks that comes out of the manager's mouth. It's the same. It's the same shit, different Saturday that comes out of his mouth. You know, I've on this, especially on this channel, I've very much been a Harris backer when people have been on his back. But you can't deny the fact that some of the stuff that he comes out with, they might as well just not have him on the camera and just put up a piece of paper saying, I said this shit last week. Do you know what I mean? And I think we're just creating unnecessary pressure for ourselves, because we've had, like I said, we've had what, 8 weeks to even if it was just signing one goalkeeper or just a signing. The only signing we've made is Alex Pearce. So like when you say about clubs are waiting for the 1st of July. Well, we didn't wait for the 1st of July for Alex Pearce. It was pretty much a week later. You know, just save him shipping his stuff all the way back to Derby, come back. Yeah, but his contract don't finish until the end of this month. So I just think we're creating a rod for our own back, and I think he's gonna cause himself problems, because we're a fickle bunch. You know, we was all riding a massive wave on the Husky chocolate thing, and now this medicals fell through, and. It was on a sugar rush from the Husky, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now
I don't know. In all honesty, I'm looking at the season going, I already want it to finish, and it ain't even fucking started. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. And I've said before, he's made a run for his own back with other clubs because they know we're going to get desperate. Because if something doesn't happen in the next 2 weeks, all of a sudden it's less than a month till the season starts, and clubs are going, you ain't got a goalkeeper, and the season starts soon, so we want an extra 250k on top.
Of course.
You know, and even with loan clubs, like we've had it before in the past when Arsenal offered us Eddie Nikita. He's got to play every game, and Harris has said point blank no, which I think's right. But say for instance you go to Premier League Cup, right, he's got to start every game. If he turns out to be a pile of shit like Archer, then what? You know, your hands are tied behind your back because contractually you've got to play him.
Yeah, that is too much of a risk. But
it's not panic stations just yet, but the alarm bells are getting the little itch.
Getting these players in, and as you said, the transfer window shuts, the importance of getting these players in pre-season, because as we saw last season, 3 players we got in the first window, Yuri Skalak, Ryan Leonard, Tom Bradshaw. That shows the importance of trying to get these players in and getting the full pre-season out of them.
Leonard weren't till the end of August as well, so we'd already had, what, four games in?
Yeah.
See the transition of Saville going, which was a big loss to us as well. You know, I just think you want your defence and your goalkeeper to be singing off the same hymn sheet, and obviously that was proved with when Martin came into the side. We looked a lot more settled. You know, you get a goalkeeper that comes in 2-3 weeks before the season starts, they're not going to be gelled, they're not going to be settled. You know, they're not going to know where his goalkeeper, like Coop's got the ball, he's not going to know exactly where his goalkeeper's standing, whereas he knew with Martin, because Martin had been at the club for 2 seasons, you know, and playing with him in training and stuff, and it makes a big difference when it comes to the defence. You know, and especially if we get a dud as well, you might find out and go, oh, and it's like, shit, this is another Jordan Archer on the cards.
Honestly, all we want is for me, Martin going was a massive loss because he didn't set the fucking world alight, but at least he fucking played there.
He was a solid, stable goalkeeper.
That's it. So
you know, and
getting back to Bialkowski, what do you think the club should have done? In your opinion, what would you have done if you was in Harris's shoes? You found out what you found out about the underlying issue with the medical. Should we still try and sign him? Should we have left the fee as it was?
Personally, I would have still signed him, because you look at his last 3 years, he's hardly missed a game. Obviously, we don't know how low the club's gone in, but I would have seen what Ipswich's counter offer was, or if we've gone in that low and Ipswich have just laughed in our face and just shut the door. We don't actually know. But if it was only 900 grand, we paid what, 750, 800 for Skalak.
Yeah.
So, and the money that has been talking around the club with obviously new sponsor and all that kind of stuff, like, it should be a drop in the ocean, 900 grand. And if it's less, I'd have paid, with a knee injury, 750 grand. Keeper in age terms is prime.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get a good 3-4 seasons.
I don't think if we'd have paid, say, 750, would be a bad gamble.
You think you'd have got your money's worth?
I think so. Yeah. Look at it, like I said, look at his record. You know, but now you look at it and go, where the fuck do we go? And
what you're saying, right?
And not only that, you look at Bradshaw. You know, you can't odds injuries. Injuries happen. Yeah. I know it's flagged up, but look at his last 3 years. He's played a lot of games. Bradshaw was signed for $1 million plus, and he's played 10 games for us. You can't odds injuries. No. It's a risk.
He's played about 15 minutes in most of
the games. It's a risk you take. And what are you saying, that we've taken a £1 million plus risk on Bradshaw? No, he's come back now, and with a goalkeeper, he's not as involved with play as well.
Yeah.
So the chances of not often you see a goalkeeper getting injured. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it would have been worth the risk, because he's a proven championship goalkeeper.
Well, so you would have liked to see us take the risk. I personally wouldn't like to see us take the risk. I think if we had other keepers there around the place and we didn't have such sparse players in the squad, I don't think people would be as involved and concerned with it as they are. And again, but maybe that's the manager hasn't helped himself. How many players do you think, getting away from goalkeepers, we actually need here? How many players are we talking before the season kicks off in 6 weeks?
A good solid 7-8 players.
I think so.
Because you've got to remember, he's turned around and said there's still players at the club that are going to go. You know, and obviously you look at who could it potentially be, like your Freds, your Aidan O'Briens, who have not really been in and around the team towards the end of the season. So if you've got a few more players going, then you're thinking, oh fuck me, like we do need a lot of players, and they need time to gel and get to learn each other and settle in. And especially with us, we're not so forgiving, and quite often than not many people get a sustained chance.
No.
So, and if we're going to get on our players back from early doors, it's going to be a long, painful season.
I think Harris has given himself the biggest task he's ever given himself as our manager, because there was a lot of people unhappy last season. As I said before, it should have been that last home game in the last season at home to Bristol City. It should have been a celebration, and everyone went there with a fucking hump. But we was a catch away from a semi-final again in an FA Cup. Had a decent cup run with some Premier League teams down there, and we survived another year in the Championship, which gives us that little bit more stability, a little bit more money. But everyone was fucked off with because of the players, and it kept getting played, and just a dead wood. But Harris has given himself that task, and I respect him for that. He's gone, yes, you was all right, I'm fucking all them off. I mean, he must be feeling the pressure now. He's fucked all those players off that we all called for to go, a lot of them. We could have all named a lot of them players, and 90% of us could have said that's who's got to go, and they all went, to be fair to him. But now, we are 5 weeks from the kick-off of the season, we don't have a goalkeeper, and as it stands, I mean, the panic's been taken away from other areas. Because if you actually look at it, up front, we've got Tom Bradshaw, who ain't kicked a football in a year, Tom Elliott, and that's about it. I suppose you could throw Aidan O'Brien into that. I would, in my mind, but I'm thinking from Harris, he doesn't see Aidan as a forward, otherwise he would have played him there by now. So we're fucking struggling not only to keep goals out, but to fucking score them. And I seriously think Harris has given himself a massive task, a massive challenge. If he pulls it off, it'll be amazing. But I think you could 10 games into the season. I mean, I was looking at Charlton the other week when Bowie wouldn't sign the deal. Now looking at them now, they seem to be. I've got Richard Cowley's tweets on alert. Keep seeing fucking Charlton alerts. Charlton are in for this one. And like you say, there's no smoke without fire. We're not getting any of these alerts. Mill could be in for that one. Could be in for that one. If anything, Richard Cowley keeps discounting them all on Twitter.
Yeah.
So if Harris does pull it off, I'll be very, very pleased, but also surprised, because as you say, even if you get players in now, a month for gel isn't a long time. I think our first friendly is a week Saturday. Is it Concord? Week Saturday?
Is it 6th or 7th of July?
Something like that. It's not far off, mate.
But then that's not really. That's probably going to be more of a Millwall 11 anyway.
Yeah, true. But I think 10 games into the season, if we're rock bottom, it could be. Well, it could be time.
Yeah.
Say the magic words.
Yeah. Well, like you said, he said in the past, judge him as a manager, and it's looking messy already. So the pressure's going to be on, and if we don't start the season. We don't have to start running away.
We very rarely start.
Yeah, but we need to be getting into that first 10 games outside the bottom 3, and if we're not, then I think you're gonna have to start looking elsewhere, because you're gonna go, well, you've had all this time, and now he's lost the whole. Oh, it was his first couple of seasons. He's still an inexperienced manager. Well, not. In managers' terms, he's one of the longest serving managers, if not the longest serving manager in the Championship now. So
it really is shit or bust for him. I think that's what I think.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, if he doesn't have to start well, but just needs to make a solid start.
Yeah. Some decent performances.
Yeah.
Show we're not out of our depth. Show things are the wheel is turning on the way the fans want to see performances. And
but I can also see it being like if we get a pasting from Preston first game of the season, I think
like another Rotherham that year.
Yeah, I think the pressure will be on bang from the get go, and whether you can bounce back from that, because the amount of negativity that comes with it, I don't know, because considering how negative last season was,
so something to look forward to.
Yeah, can't wait.
Right, I am Bart Bialkowski out. Tom is Bart Bialkowski in. Would you still sign him? Let's make it clear. I don't think it's looking like we're definitely not going to sign him, but let us know in the comments below. Welcome back to the channel, big man. Enjoy your holiday. Please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.
Well done, mate.